Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and well, I hope all of you guys have had a really great 4th of July this year for sure, and well, I know I did, of course, on my part, even if one of the downsides to all that is that we actually got rained on for sure, so yeah, looks like this year's 4th of July that we actually had to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the founding of America. Quite a rainy one when you really think about it. I mean, hey, I think that's currently the right mood for, of course, what goes on in Washington, D.C. right now, if you know what I mean. But I digress, so yeah, but I guess pretty much for what it is, I hope all of you guys have had a really great 4th of July this year for sure, so I guess for me, for this occasion, I think I might as well treat myself to what I do normally, hands down for sure, so yeah. So I guess what better way to celebrate pretty much this special occasion that we had not too long ago than by doing so and of course honoring one of the most American icons that we all know for sure, and there's plenty out there. But there is one American icon out there that you would think of pretty much for this special occasion for sure that definitely deserves pretty much all the recognition for the 4th of July this year. And if you're like me, what's the first thing that you think of are, of course, some iconic American icons to commemorate the 4th of July? That's right, the minions from Despicable Me. Yeah, I don't have any reason to say I just felt for the 4th of July we would commemorate the founding of America with the minions from Despicable Me, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So I guess given to what I've actually said, yes, folks, I think it's time that we dive right into the latest film that we got from animation company Illumination. So yeah, I guess it has been a few months since after we talked about a little something from Illumination for sure. So I guess we might as well go for round 2 with them for this year for sure. So yeah, so I guess ever since I actually had the privilege to talk about their last film, which is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, I think it's actually quite fitting that I should talk about another movie from Illumination that they actually released for sure. And yes, folks, we're diving right into the minions from Despicable Me once again, and boy, I think I'm happy to say that looks like their own cinematic outing has now reached trilogy levels for sure. So yeah, you heard right. Looks like the Minions cinematic outings right now is now officially a trilogy. A trilogy. Bear that in mind for sure. So So yeah, and of course, with the latest movie that we actually got, I think it will show exactly that. So yeah. So I think it's time that we get our minion goggles back on and scream "Banana!" once again. Pretty much, as we talk about the Minions once again, for sure, with their latest movie that was given to us by Illumination, for sure, which is none other than Minions and Monsters. So yeah, that is of course what we're going to be talking about here today. Not only is this the latest film that just came out not too long ago, but it's also the latest installment in the Minions movies, which in turn is actually based around the Despicable Me movies for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, I guess before going into, of course, this movie, I think it makes sense to brush up, of course, my history with the Minions movies for sure. So yeah, now, not counting the main Despicable Me movies for sure, because believe me when I say I do have my honest thoughts on all those for sure. But I guess when it comes to the Minions movies for sure, well, they can be a little hit and miss from what I can gather for sure. Like, of course, the first film, I actually thought it was okay for sure. I mean, sure, yeah, it does deserve the recognition as being one of the highest grossing animated films of all time back well over 10 years ago, and still well deserving of that. But a lot of people have been arguing and saying that it's one of Illumination's weaker films that they actually put out. Oh, what? You're actually gonna say that Hop doesn't actually exist? You know that was also done by Illumination, right? Okay then, so yeah, a lot of people say that the first Minions movie is pretty much the weakest that Illumination has put out, and well, personally to me, I do understand why for sure. I mean, I can't necessarily say it's a great film for sure, but I don't think it's that terrible either. So I'm kind of split down the middle. Of course, the first one for sure, but that's at least what I can say. Of course, that front. But I will give the film credit for giving the Minions time to shine for sure. As of course, they are the recognizable mascots of Illumination for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the first Minions movie for sure. While its sequel, The Rise of Gru, which I did talk about a few years ago for sure, I actually thought was pretty good. I mean, okay, it's not really that great from what I can gather, but I really do think it is actually a pretty nice sequel for sure. And boy, it was actually a long time coming for that to come out, given to what happened with the pandemic for sure. So there's that. So yeah, I guess my history with the Minions movies for sure, they can be hit and miss from what I can gather for sure. But hey, I think it's probably what I could say, of course, that front for sure. So yeah, but granted, I actually do prefer the main Despicable Me movies a whole lot more for sure, but I will give recognition for the Minions movies for what they are for sure. So I guess given to that thought alone, I was actually quite curious to see on how their newest movie will actually go for sure. In fact, I was kind of expecting it to be decent once again for sure, given to what I've actually seen the trailers, but I do want to give it some high hopes for sure, and maybe it might give us something quite interesting. So, of course, as my 4th of July treat, I did manage to get myself in to officially go and see this movie for myself, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas. As always, you guys rock. So yeah, and of course, now that I've got back from, of course, seeing it, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this movie now that I finally got the chance to see it? Well, I think you're going to be in for quite a surprise, of course, on this one. I actually thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, per se, but I really do think it's actually pretty good for sure, at least from my point of view for sure. But I can commemorate this movie for one thing and one thing only for sure, is that, well, there's no denying for the fact that out of all the Minions movies we actually got, this one might actually be the best of course, the Minions movies overall. So yeah, I can't say it's by all means a great movie overall, and I do like it for what it is. But I can say it is indeed probably without a doubt the best of the Minions movies that we actually got, and for good reason for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say of course that front. Okay, I guess I'm done with that. Alrighty then, well, now that I've officially got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and yeah, to me, I really do think they actually put together a very top-notch and structured out story that I really do think actually works quite well for sure. I mean, given for the fact that for a Minions movie for sure, yeah, I think I do want to see on the pretty much see some of the stuff that the Minions would actually do for sure. But at the same time, I do want them to venture out and try new stuff if they want to really pretty much do something quite interesting for sure. And with what I've seen with the story and of course this movie, I really do think they actually I think they really did a top-notch job in actually crafting a really good story for sure. Again, not by all means perfect from what I've seen, but I really do like what they were going for with the story, of course, of this movie, and I'm really intrigued with what they actually have presented for sure. So yeah. Sure, yeah, I think maybe some parts of it could have been cut out or maybe reworked a little bit to make it all the more fantastic for sure. But I really do think they really had a lot going for with, of course, this one. And I really do think this movie did a nice job, of course, that front. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the story for, of course, this movie. Now, as for the writing, I have to say, well, I think I will admit it's not by all means great writing for sure. And again, maybe I think they could have actually reworked pretty much the script for, of course, this film to, again, really actually give us something really great. But I really do think the pretty much the writing in this film is actually crafted out quite good with, of course, some brilliant ideas that yeah, could have been executed a whole lot better, but are still executing quite nicely done for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say for the writing for sure. Now, as for the comedy, I have to say, yeah, if there's one thing that I think I know this movie did flawlessly quite well, is that the comedy in this film is actually really well done for sure. I can tell with each and every single joke and visual gag that they actually presented for sure. They are absolute bangers from what I've actually seen, and yeah, and I think, and I guess for a while is, I ended up getting myself pretty much laughing for sure, just of how hilarious it actually is for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, yeah, I really do think the film really did an impressive job with the film's comedy, hands down, and I really do love what they've actually gone for of course, the writing, yeah, not the writing, but the comedy as well, and yeah, and like I said, each and every single one of them that they actually did, I did end up getting a huge laugh for sure, yeah, like, of course, when one joke ends that will give me time to breathe, another one pops up where, of course, I ended up laughing some more for sure. So yeah, that's the one thing I can say this movie did flawlessly, hands down for sure. So yeah, I really do like the story and the writing for sure, despite some issues that I have with them and could have been reworked a little more, hands down. But the comedy, I have to say, is just absolutely outstanding, and I actually found myself getting a huge laugh out of every single one of the jokes they actually did. It's that great, so yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got those out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the next couple of things I need to talk about for sure. To which next up is, of course, the characters, and yeah, I think with what I've actually seen, I really do love what they actually did with the characters for sure. Yeah, I think each and every single one of them has been given some pretty good development from what I've actually seen to really try to make them likable and interesting for sure. And I really do follow through every single one of them hands down, and I do end up caring for them a whole lot. So yeah, I guess pretty much from what I've actually seen, I really do follow through with the characters hands down. Like, of course, you understand pretty much the amount of development that's been given to them. You understand their reasons on what problem they have and how they're going to overcoming hands down. All that sort of stuff to really make them interesting characters for sure. And that's just to name me a few hands down, so yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, I really do love what they did with the characters, of course, of this movie, and I really do follow through with them quite well, in my opinion, so yeah. Now, as for the actors that came on board to play all these characters, yeah, I will have to say, each and every single one of them they actually brought in, I actually do think they pulled off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, that I really do think really works well to the film's advantage for sure. Like, of course, yeah, again, not really pitch perfect acting from what I've actually seen, but I do commemorate pretty much the amount of effort they dig into their performances for sure to really try to make this movie work quite well, and they did the job tremendously well, in my opinion, so yeah. And of course, if I were to probably name a couple of standouts, in my opinion, that's kind of hard to say as there's a lot of good ones from what I can gather, but I guess for this case, I think I'm probably going to go with probably either Trey Parker or Jesse Eisenberg, of course, this movie. Those two, I really do think, really gave off great performances, in my opinion, and I do think they are actually really great standouts for sure, so yeah, but that's at least what I can say, of course, that front. The rest of them, on the other hand, I really do think their performances are actually really good, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front, so yeah. So yeah, I really do like what they did with the characters, who really tried to make them likable and interesting, give it to some development, give it to them for sure. While the actors that came on board to play all these characters, I really do think they gave off such pretty good performances, in my opinion, that I do think works quite well to the film's advantage, so yeah. That's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, now that I've actually got those two out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about? Actually, quite a whole lot, hands down. I guess for what it is, seeing of how this is an Illumination movie after all, I think I should definitely talk about the one thing I always mention when it comes to an animated movie for sure, and that being, of course, the animation, so yeah, I really do think with what I've actually seen by far, the animation, and of course, this movie, I really do think is absolutely great, hands down. Yeah, I really do think they really did a bang-up job with the animation, of course, of this movie, and I really do think it really does show, of course, this one, hands down, not only with the way the characters are designed from what I've actually seen, but also the really great backgrounds that they had to put together for sure, so So yeah, those I think I will say are actually really nicely done in my opinion, and they're actually really quite nice. Not to mention that I really do love the really great amount of color that they actually put into really make this movie look great for sure. So yeah, so I guess pretty much in regards to the animation for sure. Yeah, you guys actually provide some really great color, hands down, and they really did a bang-up job, of course, that front. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for the animation for sure. And to go along go along with, of course, the animation for sure. I will admit the production design, of course, of this movie also deserves some recognition, hands down for sure. Yeah, not only with, of course, everything that I've actually mentioned, with, of course, pretty much the character designs and the background creations for sure. But I think everything else that they actually dig to, of course, the nice layout work that they actually dig to really get this looking great does actually show, and even the visuals and the effects that help blend in quite well to the film's surroundings, I really do think is also quite nicely done from what I've actually seen. So yeah, I really do think that they really want to give everything they got to really make this movie look great for sure, and they really did the job quite well for sure, especially fitting in well with, of course, the whole 1920s pretty much setting, hands down, pretty much really trying to capture pretty much the look and feel of pretty much of the early days of Hollywood, and of course pretty much the early days of filmmaking and cinema for sure, and I really do think it's actually quite nicely done for sure. And for the fact that they actually dig pretty much, that they actually tackle upon it, that was actually pretty much showcased well over a century ago, that's saying a whole lot for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say for everything that I can say for the production design for, of course, this movie. Now, of course, the direction in this film from the film's director, I really do think definitely deserves some really good recognition for sure, and I really do applaud that there is a really good amount of effort being put into, of course, the directing, of course, this film for sure. And again, it's not really pitch perfect from what I've actually seen, but I really do think it's actually done really good, in my opinion, that I really do think is actually quite nicely done. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, and of course, the cinematography in this film, yeah, I really do think that alone is also done really great from what I've actually seen for sure. Yeah, I think they really got some really good camera shots that they actually dig to also help make the movie look good for sure. And I really do admire what they actually did, and of course, this one for sure. It really is quite nicely done from what I've actually seen, and I think they really did a bang-up job with the cinematography, hands down. So yeah, and of course the editing, I have to say, that too alone is also caught up perfectly from what I've actually seen for sure. They really actually did a bang-up job editing the whole movie together for sure, and of course pretty much with, of course, several different cuts that they actually did, hands down, to really actually sell this movie quite well. And yeah, I think they did a bang-up job with the film's editing, and not to mention even matches quite well with the film's pacing from what I've actually seen, hands down. yeah, as I really do think, yeah, the film's pacing is also done tremendously well from what I've actually seen for sure. They really nailed it on the head with, of course, what it has to offer for sure, and of course, providing some really good fast pace for sure that would fit in with, of course, the comedic hijinks from the minions for sure, and they really did the job quite well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So I guess give it to all those that I've actually mentioned. I think that will get you the idea, of course, where exactly I was going for, pretty much, and what I have to say about this movie as a whole. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alrighty then, well, I guess with all that said and done, I think that's everything that I can say for, of course, this movie as a whole. So yeah, overall, I guess for while I can't necessarily say it's by all means a fantastic movie on its own for sure. In fact, I've probably seen a whole lot of other films that are done much better than this for sure. I can say without a doubt, Minions and Monsters is in fact a charming and yet hilarious movie that I really do think really did the job quite good for sure, and really want to pretty much keep the the charm and the spirit of the Minions for sure, but also take it in a interesting and yet new direction that I really do think actually works quite well. And yeah, at the end of the day, it doesn't by all means make it a great movie, but I do think it is actually a good one nonetheless. So yeah. Sure, yeah, I guess maybe some parts in it could have been reworked a little better, like maybe a little tweaking, and of course the story and the writing for sure. But everything else that they actually did, from of course the acting, the comedy, the animation, everything about it for sure, it's actually done quite well from what I've actually seen, and I really do think it is actually quite nicely done for sure. So yeah, I know that's saying a whole lot given to the other Minions movies that I talked about prior to, of course, this one for sure. But I guess for this case, I think he did the job quite well. So yeah, like I said, I can't say it's by all means pretty much a fantastic movie for what it is. But I really do think it's actually done pretty good, and I did find myself having a good time with it, hands down. Like, I was quite surprised, given to all of the pretty much everything that I've actually said, of course, this one. In fact, I was really quite surprised with the amount of positive reviews that critics have actually been giving it, hands down. Like I'm talking 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, great for sure. So yeah, I was quite surprised, given to what I've actually said. In fact, I was expecting this movie to come out pretty decent for sure. But from what I've actually seen by far, I'm glad I got out of this movie saying that it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's not great, but I really do think it's actually pretty good for sure. So yeah. But does it still make it worth the recommendation on my part? Absolutely. So yeah, I guess pretty much of anything, if that is something up your alley, if of course you're a longtime Despicable Me fan, let alone pretty much a big Minions fan for sure, I say this movie is actually well worth checking out. So yeah, I can't, yeah, like I said, I can't say it's by all means a great movie on its own. But I can agree with a lot of people saying that out of all the Minions movies that we actually got for sure, this movie is definitely the best one that we actually got, and I'm really glad that we actually, yeah, I'm really glad that this movie is what it is for sure. So yeah, and if it's something up your alley for sure, I say give it a watch. It's actually well worth an hour and a half of your time, hands down. So yeah, I guess that's what I could say, of course, on that front for sure. So yeah, So yeah, I guess for what it is, I say definitely check this movie out for sure. You're definitely not going to get something great, hands down. But I think you are going to get something that will give you such a good time and of course, makes you want to be like the Minions and say, banana! I'm sorry, I had to do that for sure, so yeah, but that's at least my initial thoughts on, of course, this movie as a whole, so yeah, for my final score, yeah, I think it is pretty much deserving of a for sure, so I'm gonna give Minions and Monsters an 8 out of 10 as my final score, so yeah, like I said, I can't say it's by all means a fantastic movie for what it is, but I really do think it is actually a really good and yet really hilarious one that I really do think is actually quite nicely done for sure. And I'm glad we actually got it for what it is for sure. So yeah. And I guess if it's something up your alley, then yeah, definitely check this movie out. You're definitely gonna get yourself a real good time with, of course, this one for sure. So yeah. It's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alrighty then, well, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say for, of course, this video for sure, So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest video, and by all means, I'll now turn it over to you guys. What do you think of Minions and Monsters if you've actually seen it for yourself? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it and think it's the absolute best of the Minions movies that we actually got? Or do you absolutely hate it and think that the Minions movies should stop altogether because of how godly annoying that they are? To which I assume is pretty much probably more annoying than the Raving Rapids. Anybody remember those? No? Me either. Or, of course, you're somewhere in between, of course, this one, and you thought this movie is for what it is. So yeah, let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments down below. I'm actually quite curious to see on what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest thoughts video, and well, now that we finally got this done for sure, I'm quite curious to see on what the month of July will also give us for sure, now that we've already passed the halfway point for, of course, this year for sure. Although, I will say, I guess before going into the next movie, hands down, I just realized that we're now at exactly 399 thoughts videos. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as you are for sure, but you know what? I may have actually saw that coming, hands down, so you want to know something? I definitely want to talk about something, of course, pretty much for my 400 thoughts video. And believe it or not, thanks to a little poll that I actually pretty much did not too long ago, and if you have actually seen on the post tab, of course, the results for sure, I think it will get you the idea, of course, what I'll talk about for the next thoughts video. So yeah, tune in next time, people, where, of course, I'll be celebrating pretty much on my 400th thoughts video for sure, by talking about a little something that's actually something up my alley for sure. And I will say this, for my 400th thoughts video, I'm not going to give away the title for sure, but I will say, if I can move my chair up for a moment. Yeah, I can say without a doubt, for my 400th thoughts video, we are going to be talking about another anime, which is one hint, while the other hint, on the other hand, well, you see my cosplays? Yeah. think, yeah, I guess pretty much for my 400th Thoughts video, we're actually going to be, finally going to be talking about an anime about cosplay. Yeah, I'm sure that will give you guys a little hint on that, so yeah. So I guess I'll leave you at that, and of course on that thought alone, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you for my 400th Thoughts video, so stay tuned for that. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD and Sam Shepard. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack447TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427’s Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.